All right, lights go down on the Speedway. Premier Waste Services start zone. Await your front row. Hudson O'Neal, Chase Younghands, Indiana, and Kansas and Arizona. Green flag in there. We are underway. 40 laps the distance. 5 cars on the line. Younghands does not get a good start. Hudson O'Neal does. Hudson moves to the lead. Bloomquist almost got turned around. He's able to save it down in 1 and 2. He runs back in 6. Meanwhile, Chris Simpson rides in 2nd, and he looks to the inside of the 71 of Hudson O'Neal. That's your battle for the lead. Meanwhile, Younghands up top. 3 different groups. Leader lap number 1 at the line. Give it to Chase Younghands on lap 1. What a bounce back after Younghands got a terrible start. Hudson O'Neal back to 2nd. In the 3rd spot, it's Bobby Pearson. Now Hudson closes in on the 18 car of Chase Younghands, and we're going to see the caution on the Speedway as we got them stacked up in turn number 1. And it's going to be Rob Sanders, and looks like Jason Papich drawing the caution with 1 lap down, 39 laps to go. And Chase Younghands, the Kansas racer, leads the way in this one over Hudson O'Neal and Chris Simpson. All right, so we'll see where Younghands picks up the throttle out of turn number 4 with 39 laps to go here tonight at FK Rod-Ins Arizona Speedway in the Super Late Model main event. Green flags out. We're back underway. And Hudson O'Neal gets a good start. So does Bobby Pierce. They may go 3 wide for the lead through turns 1 and 2. You know Pierce likes the top, and now it's going to be the 18 car. Younghands takes that line away. Here comes the 71 car to his inside. Hudson O'Neal wants to get back to the lead. Oh, Hudson almost dialed it out of turn number 4. He bends it, keeps it in place, and at the line, it's Younghands by a nose. Almost too close to call. Younghands right now, Hudson duking it out front. Bobby Pierce in 3rd. Brandon Sheppard back and forth. And here comes Jimmy Mars. The Iceman cometh up to the 5th spot, trying to get 4th as Chris Simpson slots right up in front of Brandon Sheppard. Chaotic racing all over this 3/8 mile oval right now. With out front Chase Younghands leading the way with 3 laps complete. 37 laps to go. And Hudson O'Neal right there with Younghands. One mistake by either one. The other one's going to have the lead all to themselves. They complete lap number 4. Younghands stretches his advantage. Hudson O'Neal in 2nd. 3rd's going to be Bobby Pierce. 4th will be Jimmy Mars. 5th will be Brandon Sheppard. Bloomquist rides back in 6th. And 7th now, it's going to be Chris Simpson. In the 8th spot, Tony Toast. In 9th, Pearson Jr. In 10th, it's Brandon Overton. But out front right now, it is all the 18 car of Chase Younghands as we got a slider for 2nd. And here comes Bobby Pierce. Pierce takes the Pearson 32 from the 2nd spot. That Rocket XR1 now is going to head to the top side down in turns 3 and 4. Can he reel in the Rocket XR1 of Chase Younghands out front as we complete lap number 6? Younghands that time by a 1.6-second advantage over Bobby Pierce. Will monitor that as that goes along. Meanwhile, Hudson O'Neal may have trouble. He's falling backwards. Brandon Sheppard goes by. Jimmy Mars goes by as maybe Hudson trying to find the handle on that new race car here tonight with 7 laps complete, 33 to go. And Bobby Pierce now 1 point. Actually, Pierce not picking up on the transponder. His transponder may have fallen off. It shows Sheppard in 2nd. We know that's not the case, so we'll keep an eye on that. As not seeing Bobby Pierce on the transponder, so he's being hand scored right now. As he was picking up earlier, not now, and Scott Ward out of the party down the back straightaway. We'll stay green now with 8 laps complete, 32 to go. And Bobby Pierce on that top shelf slowly reeling in Chase Younghands. That time at the line, 4 car lengths separate them. Next time by, there'll be 10 laps complete, 30 to go. And right now it's the 32 car. Bobby Pierce driving it for all it's worth down the back straightaway. Younghands on the low side. Pierce tiptoes around the high side. He's found a good smooth line up there. Meanwhile, on the 3rd spot, Brandon Sheppard. In the 4th spot, it's Jimmy Mars. Back in position number 5, Hudson O'Neal. As we got a battle for the lead out of 2 down the back straightaway. They switched lines. As the 18 car Younghands working around the top, the 32 car Pierce went to the bottom. And Pierce may have just showed Younghands something down here in 1 and 2. As that bottom group looked awful fast. And just like that, Younghands going to go to the bottom in 1 and 2. Pierce will go to the top. They change lines again out of turn 2 down the back straightaway. Here comes Pierce. Here comes Bobby Pierce trying to reel in Chase Younghands. And all the while, they're catching the tail of the field. And Brandon Sheppard's keeping pace with them. Kansas leads the way over Illinois. And Illinois right now, that's your top 3 as they work through turns 1 and 2 down the back straightaway. Listening on Joey Tanner. Here comes Pierce right behind the 18 car Younghands. A big run. He had to get on the binders. They come around to complete lap number 13. Who's going to be your leader? Will we have a new leader? Yes, sir, we will. Bobby Pierce moves to the lead on lap number 13 now. Younghands takes it back away from him. Pierce will turn back down the hill out of 2. Good stuff out front here tonight in the desert. Bobby Pierce, Chase Younghands duking it out for the lead. laps away from halfway. He'll put a lap on Rob Sanders as Young Hands looks inside of Pierce, can't quite get there. Brandon Sheppard half a straightaway back in third. In the fourth spot is Jimmy Mars. In fifth, it's going to be Hudson O'Neill. Sixth will be Chris Simpson. Bloomquist in seventh, can't get going forward here tonight. And in the eighth spot, the seventh car of Ricky Weiss, Pearson behind him. Stormy Scott rounds out your top 10 as your leaders continue to dice through traffic. Bobby Pierce works down the back straightaway. Off into turns 3 and 4. Now Young Hands goes to the top side with him as they navigate lap traffic. 16 laps complete, 4 laps away from halfway here tonight for $5,000. Down the back straightaway, Pierce continues to lead. And we got one slow into the top of turn number 4, and that's going to draw the caution. 10th place runner Stormy Scott draws the caution with 16 laps unofficially in the books, 24 laps to go. And we're going to see how this one shakes down with the smooth operator now in control. Can Young Hands get back to the lead? Does Sheppard have anything? What about Mars? He's back there lurking in the shadows. Hudson in 5th. Green flag in there. We're back underway. Bobby Pierce gets a great restart. Brandon Sheppard going to shoot up to 2nd. We'll see if he's able to keep it. Young Hands possibly falling back to 3rd. Young Hands back to 3rd. Now Jimmy Mars comes after Young Hands. Jimmy Mars on the prowl. He'll take 3rd away from Chase Young Hands, and Young Hands goes from 2nd to 4th on that restart. Meanwhile, Ricky Weiss on the prowl as well from deep in the field in the 7 car, making some moves as we complete lap number 17 with Bobby Pierce out front. Racetrack widening out nicely, and now Scott Bloomquist comes to life as well. He and Ricky Weiss side by side for position number 5. And there's 2-3 good distinct crews. If you're watching at home, get to the desert by next weekend. You got to be a part of this in person. 18 laps complete as we work lap 19. They're 3 wide for the 3rd spot. Bloomquist, Mars, and Young Hands. Bloomquist and Mars, not best friends, definitely not. And they're side by side back there as Young Hands shakes free, and now Weiss joins the battle. Next out by is going to be halfway out front. It is all Bobby Pierce. In 2nd, Brandon Sheppard. What a battle back there for the 3rd spot, though, as now Young Hands takes away from Bloomquist. Weiss charges the middle. We're halfway home. 20 laps down, 20 to go here tonight at FK Rodden's Arizona Speedway, with Bobby Pierce leading the way over Brandon Sheppard, Chase Young Hands, and Scott Bloomquist, with Ricky Weiss rounding out your top 5. Marge back to 6th. 7th now Overton, 8th Hudson O'Neill, 9th Pearson, 10th will be Chris Simpson as we complete lap number 21. And Bobby Pierce getting higher and higher into that cushion. Brandon Sheppard up there with him. They're running this 3/8 mile like it's Macon. You could have been Macon on the inside of this place about 8 times, and they're running it like Macon up against the wall. Working off turn number 4. Bobby Pierce leads the way. Sheppard losing ground to Bobby Pierce. Lead getting bigger and bigger. Young Hands keeping Bloomquist behind him. Weiss is stabilized in the 5th spot. Still good battle for 3rd, 4th, and 5th. You see it on your screen as they work off turn number 4. Young Hands in that sweet spot right now, just not able to allow Bloomquist or Weiss to get by him. He's doing what he's got to maintain his line, and he holds on to that final podium spot. Meanwhile, as we complete lap number 24, we're going to encounter lap traffic. Lap traffic now in front of your leaders, and the first car, Joey Tanner, running the same groove as Bobby Pierce. Is that going to affect where Pierce goes? Does this open the door for Brandon Sheppard? We're about to find out as Pierce closes in with 7-8 car lengths of lap traffic through turns 3 and 4. And now he closes quickly off turn at number 4. They work off into turn 1 and 2, and he'll look to the inside of Tanner. Tanner to his outside. That breaks Pierce's momentum just a little bit. And Brandon Sheppard's going to catch him. And now is the time. But Pierce is going to throw it off in there. Oh, he gets into the lap car of Tanner. That could have been disastrous for your leader, but he's able to keep it straight. Now with just 15 laps remaining. And caution on the speedway as Chase Young Hands, not sure what happened. He is facing the wrong way, and Ricky Weiss stops to miss him. And car number 7. Round 2. Lights are down on the speedway, Dustin. We're coming back green. 15 laps to sort it out. Can Pierce get it done, or does somebody else have something for him? Here we go, back underway, and Bobby Pierce gets a great start. Meanwhile, Bloomquist is going to come after Brandon Sheppard for position at number 2. Bloomquist digging hard on the low side. Pierce bobbles up top just a little bit. Now he drives off the cushion down the back straightaway. Young Hands back out on the racetrack, but he is way behind the field as we work off of turn number 4. Out front with Bobby Pierce, your leader, Sheppard in 2nd. Scott Bloomquist working on him for that position. And And now Brandon Overton's worked into the fold as well. He's up to 4th, Mars into 5th. We got some new players in the game as we complete lap number 27 off turn number 4 with Bobby Pierce leading the way, and Brandon Sheppard's right there with him. Pierce not able to drive away from him. Sheppard's right there. Bloomquist is right there. Now both your front 2 cars bobble. That allows Bloomquist to go up to 2nd. Sheppard falls back to 3rd. And down the back straightaway, Jimmy Mars out of this one. He had a top 5 run going, now out of it. Meanwhile, Bobby Pierce now starting to stretch things out just a bit, hitting his marks. He did not get a good restart, but after a few laps, that car came back to life. Overton in 4th, Cade Dillard in 5th. Cade Dillard trying to make some new news here. He started back in 17th. Cade Dillard from 17th, and now he's going to take 4th away from the 2 car of Joey Coulter. 2 by 2 for 2nd through 5th, but out front it's all Bobby Pierce, and he is stretching out this lead as they come around to complete lap number 30. 30 in the books, 10 laps to go, and Bobby Pierce leads the way. We talked about it 2 years ago. He had a chance to win one of the bonuses, not necessarily the Kaiser $250,000, but he had chances at the other bonus, some of the other bonuses. Mother Nature washed out the final 2 shows, left a bad taste in his mouth. He came back last year, struggled with the new car a little bit. He comes this year with notes on the Rocket XR1, and he has been fast out of the box, and right now he stretches it down the back straightaway. 8 laps remaining off turn number 4. 8 laps remaining, and Bobby Pierce tiptoeing around the high side of the speedway. Brandon Sheppard in 2nd. Bloomquist is going to the top side as well in 3rd. And now all your top 4 runners all run the high side. Brandon Overton in 5th works the middle off of 2. 33 laps complete. 7 more laps to go, and they could get to lap traffic. May or may not have an impact on the outcome of this one. One thing for sure, Pierce is driving away from him in car 32. Brandon Sheppard rides about half a straightaway back in the 2nd spot. He's got Bloomquist 2 car lengths back in 3rd. It's a half a straightaway back to Cade Dillard in 4th. Cade Dillard from 17th to 4th. Overton rounds out your top 5. Then behind them it's going to be Pearson, Hudson O'Neill. It'll be R.C. Whitwell having a good run tonight. Tony Toast, Garrett Alberson, Terry Phillips, Ricky Thornton Jr., Pat Dorr, Jason Papage, Joey Moriarty, and Don Shaw, along with Joey Tanner, Rob Sanders. That's the last of the cars on the speedway, as now Sanders got to go another lap down to your leader, Bobby Pierce. Pierce will duck down to the inside off into turns 1 and 2. Slider throws him down a lap, as we now just have 4 laps remaining, and Bobby Pierce, your leader, Sheppard, trying to get there, half a straightaway back. Sheppard seems to be turning up the wick just a little bit. Can he get there in time, though? Only 3 laps to go, just 3 laps to go. Bloomquist waiting on one mistake to try to get around the B5 of Brandon Sheppard. Nothing so far. Joey Tanner will follow a lap as they head off into turns 3 and 4. No, he slots up in front of your leader. Will that allow Sheppard to get there? Does that create a push for the 32 car of Pierce? For 2 laps remain, 38 down, 2 to go. Pierce unable to get around Tanner so far. Pierce gets up over the cushion a little bit out of turn number 2. Bloomquist to the inside of Sheppard. Bloomquist is 2nd. Now Sheppard looks back to his outside. They're going to come back to the white flag. Your top 3 are getting tighter and tighter. White flag in there. One more time around the speedway. Bloomquist is 2nd. Pierce heads to the top side down to turns 1 and 2. Bloomquist is right there with him. 5 car lengths back now. Down the back straightaway. Your leader boxed in behind lap cars. Where will he go? Pierce goes to the top side. Bloomquist looks to the inside. Pierce is bottled up behind a lap car. Who's going to win this one? Drag race back to the line. Your winner here tonight, Scott Bloomquist. Brandon Sheppard comes home in Bobby Pierce in 2nd, Sheppard in 3rd. Scott Bloomquist, your winner here tonight. We're going to go to the scores for official on it since Pierce did not have it. We got to check on Pierce's car to see. They were dead at the even. All right, we're going to get, if we can down in the replay room, guys, if you can key up the replay, we got to go back to that because Pierce did not have a transponder at the end. It did not pick up on the last lap, so we've got to see the end to find out officially who is your winner here tonight. Here's the replay. Coming to the line, at the line, and it's going to be Pierce by a nose. You see on the FK Rod-Ins instant replay, his transponder cutting in and out throughout the race, did not pick up on the last lap. on the instant replay, we just had it on the monitor, Bobby Pierce by a nose. Can you believe it? Scott Bloomquist gave it all it had. He got bottled up in lap traffic. Your winner here tonight, the Rocket XR1 Pro Power Racing Engine, Allgaier Incorporated, Hoker Trucking, Mesilla Valley Transportation, Premier Waste Services, Leica Tree Service, Burgers Marina, Carnegie Towing and Repair, and Digital Copy Systems, number 32. How about it for Bobby Pierce? Take it away, Dustin Jarrett. I have nothing more to say. What can you say about that finish?
Let him hear you, Arizona. Your winner's the smooth operator, Bobby Pierce. Gonna grab a bottle of water from his mom, Angie, no doubt worn out after that one. I know I was worn out standing out on the inside of turn 3 watching that race. Congratulations, first and foremost, man. Talk about that finish. They had to go to the video replay. Your transponder fell off at some point during the race. I don't even know if you knew that or not. They had to go back to a replay, a video replay of the finish, a photo finish, to determine you were the winner by inches over Scott Bloomquist.
Yeah, I was pretty sure at the line I had him. You know, if that would have cost me, that would have been, I don't even know what to say. But, you know, I pulled up next to the guy at one caution. I was like, come on, man, you know, I'm trying to race here. And he stayed in the line. Just, I don't know, couldn't get around him. But, man, that was a heck of a finish there. And I'm so glad that it went my way. You know, I was hustling the car really hard there to, you know, miss those holes and everything. And, you know, I need to work out on my grips because, you know, any single hole you hit felt like you're hitting a pothole, but made for a great racing, and I was really surprised that bottom had a lot of grip down there. I might have been able to stay down there, but the top's momentum, you know, it just gets going, and it's hard to come off of there. But congrats to Scott on second. I guess Brandon got third, and yeah, it was really fun racing Huddy and Chase Younghands there. You know, pulling some sliders, that was a lot of fun, and we really got to figure out what just went wrong there. Pulled in the infield, something happened, so. You know, fingers crossed. But it's huge thanks to all my sponsors, Hoker Trucking, Premier Waste Services, Allgaier Incorporated, Burgers Marina, Carnegie Towing, Mesilla Valley Transportation, Jeff Leica Tree Service, DCS, Digital Copy Systems, First Spear, Border Tire, Sweet Manufacturing, Velocita Suits, Pro Power, Advanced Suspension. Got the Rocket Chassis in Victory Lane tonight, so that's really cool. And so far, we're 3 in a row with going back to my own team since the 2 Gateway wins. And if we can keep it up, I don't know. I'm just really worried, you know, when I pull in the infield, something happens. So we'll check it out. But big thanks to everybody watching on Dirt on Dirt. You know, big thanks to my girlfriend, her family watching, my Uncle Will and Amanda, I know they're watching. All the fans, huge thanks to my dad, huge thanks to Rhino. Everybody helps us out. Cole is helping us out for a while there. And Corey's here tonight, Bill's here tonight, my mom, you know, everybody that helps us out. Thank you.
Obviously, something maybe happened to that race car just as soon as you finished the race and pulled in, but your dream for this $250,000 challenge is still alive again for another time. What does that mean to you, and is this the year it finally happens, if not all 6 races, maybe 3 or 4?
Yeah, you know, I said earlier I wouldn't be surprised if someone else wins it every single night, you know, a different winner. So, you know, I wouldn't be super surprised if I don't end up back in victory lane because competition's stout out here right now. And, you know, Scott, you know, I didn't really know how long it'd take him to get rolling here, but, you know, with him being there right at the line, he's got it rolling already. So, you know, he's another threat. And, you know, Huddy, he's really good tonight. You know, he's never been here before. So a lot of good cars here. And, but, man, if we can get some of that Kaiser bonus money, you know, that'd be awesome. Yeah, I missed a few sponsors, Kaiser Manufacturing and Schoenfield Headers, XS Batteries, Showtime Signs, Graphics. Did an awesome job on this car. I think it looks great. So, and so many more. Just huge thanks to everybody.
Congratulations, bud.
Thank you.
Bobby Pierce picks up the win in a photo finish tonight here in the desert at FK Rod Ends Arizona Speedway. Scott Bloomquist down here talking to fans, getting his picture taken. Scott, your first trip to the racetrack, literally coming up just inches short at the line.
Yeah, you know, it took us a while to really get a handle. I mean, I feel like we could improve the car a little bit, but you know, just ran the bottom, tried to make it work did all right with it under caution. We come off with a pretty good start, but you know, the top was just a little bit better, and we finally just had to get up there. And you know, it felt like we were as good. Again, we just got a little bit of work to do.
How much were you trying to get a feel for this racetrack with just having a little bit of practice last night and the race tonight, and how much of you were just simply trying to find a groove that was good for you and settling for this race car?
Well, it's really rough, you know, and I've talked about shoulder problems and stuff, and it really does hitting some of these holes up there, and you can feel it while you're racing. Usually when they drop the green, you don't feel nothing, you know, but you know, when you feel it while you're racing, you hate to get up there, and you know you're doing damage, but you know, we decided, I mean, we were going after it, decided it's what we had to do. But, you know, traffic came into play there at the end, and, you know, it was close.
Did you think you had Bobby at the line, or you just couldn't tell?
I've had so many people that just walked over here that were sure we did. And, you know, I can say it was so close, I'm not going to say what I thought. You know, just like to see a photo. Maybe they got a photo or video or something. We could just look at it. But you know, most of the time, black nose pieces lose photo finishes, so we've lost quite a few. I think that we did win, but you know, again, it was just because of traffic. So, you know, we have to pick our game up a little bit.
Congratulations on a good run.
Thank you.
Scott Bloomquist comes home with a second-place finish here at FK Rod-Ends Arizona Speedway, and we'll run over here real quick and grab your third-place finisher, Brandon Sheppard. Sheppy walking around looking at the race car. Man, you were right there, and traffic helped you out a little bit there towards the end as well. It was kind of a rough and tumble race. You had to be up on the wheel all 40 laps.
Oh yeah, for sure. The racetrack's pretty treacherous on the top. Scott had a good line going there on the bottom. I didn't have my car quite right. I was a little bit snug on the cushion and laid over a little bit down on the bottom of the racetrack. So we got a little bit of work to do, but we definitely got a good race car. Definitely got something to work with for the rest of the week. We're out on the 6-night bonus, but realistically, that'd be hard to do anyway. So I'm just glad to be up here on the podium, and we'll just give it all we got the next 5 nights.
You mentioned this when you were mic'd up on Dirt video that we played, but this track has changed a little bit, maybe from last year to this year, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's definitely. I feel like it's a top dominant track, but obviously, like I said, Scott was really good on the bottom, and they had a really good racetrack tonight. If they get some of the holes fixed, it'll be a lot better for the rest of the week. I'm sure they will. They always work hard on this place, and it's a lot of fun to race at. And got to thank all my great sponsors, Kids Castle Learning Centers, Valvoline. Let's see. I don't race this car much. I got to look. Denny Woodworth, attorney at law, 34 Raceway. My grandpa Steve, my dad, they worked their butts off so I can have a family-owned team to come back and race. Pro Power Racing Engines. Mark Richards, Steve Baker, everybody at Rocket Chassis, Integra Shocks and Springs, Kaiser Manufacturing. I thank all the fans for coming out, all my family for supporting me, and hopefully we can get a race in tomorrow too.
All right, Brandon Sheppard rounds out the podium, Ben, and what was an exciting night to open up the 13th annual Kaiser Manufacturing Wild West Shootout here at the FK Rod-Ends Arizona Speedway.